I believe we will be focusing on what the outlook is on the retailers and whether or not we are seeing preferences for consumers changing, and how long before we actually see decent recovery for offline shopping picking up as well. Getting into that discussion then, we've got Harish Bijoor, brand guru, and we also have with us Rishi Vasudev, CEO, Lifestyle and Home Center, joining in to talk about what the upcoming festive season could bring for this space. Harish Bijoor is going to be with us in just a bit. Rishi Vasudev joining in. Rishi, thanks so much for taking time out. To start off with, are you seeing that, whether or not there has been some sort of a change in the customer preferences in this post-COVID era, a remarkable shift perhaps towards certain categories that you're observing?
We have seen two patterns. One is post the lockdown lifting, there was a lot of pent-up demand. People are spending much more time home. So there was a huge demand for basic products, things that people can wear at home. The good sign was that as you had a couple of weeks of festive, which is Rakhi and Eid, a lot of festive shoppers actually came out to shop, which changed some of the trends. But yeah, there is definitely a change in some of the categories. Some new categories like masks, sanitizers, etc. have come into play. The essentials category is emerging as one of the important categories. And these are some of the changes we are seeing as business has been picking up in the last couple of months.
Okay, fair enough. And according to you, what are going to be the new retail trends? Was there going to be a long-term shift, you think, towards digital, online? Because that's what people are now getting very accustomed to. Do you think that there will be a case of even brands setting up local kiosks and pick-up stores, some sort of new trends emerging on these lines?
Yeah, see, what's happening is, digital is definitely emerging as a very important channel. For long, online, offline operated as two independent channels where they expected consumers to do browsing and shopping in one channel. And now both are coming together very closely as consumer habits are changing. Our research also shows that there are various different kinds of consumers. There are some consumers who are worried, who don't want to step out of their houses. There are consumers who feel that they're imprisoned and they are waiting for things to ease so that they step out. And then there are customers who are really rethinking their whole attitude towards consumption. For the worried consumers, most retailers have been reaching out to those consumers through mobile kiosks, going to apartment complexes and setting up these kiosks so that consumer can access the brands or the retailer that they want to shop from. Our online sites have seen a huge spurt in demand, both lifestyle as well as home center. And therefore, consumers are coming online. Apart from that, various new initiatives like video shopping have emerged and WhatsApp shopping have emerged. So therefore, all kinds of new innovations are happening so that we address the different kind of consumers and take care of whatever their worries are and still be able to service them.
Okay. Harish Bijoor also joining us. Harish, good morning. What's your take in terms of the trends you're seeing pre-festive season? Is it still a tad early? Are you seeing shifts in consumer patterns at the moment? Are consumers making different choices, also being a little bit more conscious of spending in this era post-COVID?
Well, I think, markets are just about emerging from this either act of God or act of devil kind of a situation that we've been in. Different categories are reacting differently. In terms of fast-moving consumer goods, I see definitely a perk up, and bulk of the items which had gone into hibernation and which had gone into the mode of buy at home are coming out of home now, which simply means to say that it's business as usual for most categories. But regaining and recouping from what was lost, that's going to be difficult. In terms of durables, I see a good trend. And I think, the festivities are actually creating a little bit of a buzz because the key point is every marketer has a role to bring buzz back, to bring the lost mojo of the market back once again. And I think everybody's making that effort. And how it translates into physical action, we will need to wait for another 3 weeks and wait and watch.
In terms of the kind of lockdown rules, Harish, there was some uncertainty earlier. Of course, now there seems to be a little bit more ease in terms of outside of containment zones, at least. How much do you feel people are going to actually go physically to stores? How much traction or business do you really see happening online this time around?
Well, online has been the way into which the entire market has moved. But people may not be too satisfied because humans are very tactile and you want to see, touch, smell, feel, be a part of it. Only then you feel normal. So the fear economy which we entered into at this given point of time, I think reversing that is going to be a difficult thing for a period of time because people are being very tentative. Fear is a very big four-letter word in the mind of the consumer. And fear still rules, never mind that lockdown and unlock India is in place. Once you do something as dramatic as lockdown, it takes a period of time. You've done it for 4 months. Now, unlocking that will take you another 8 months possibly. So I think, markets are just testing. People are just testing the waters, trying to see what must I do. And COVID numbers aren't happy. In terms of the number of cases, in terms of number of deaths, I think people are looking at that as well.
So Rishi, what's in store when it comes to the festive season? How are you preparing for it? What kind of footfalls are you expecting? Are there any promotions, discount, lucrative offers on sale?
Sale in August, and we are looking forward to the festive season. One big thing is that there is a series of, we just had Onam, and then there is Pujo, and then followed by Diwali. So a slew of festivity across the country, and we are very hopeful that during this time there would be a lot of people stepping out. Along with the marriage season, I think that's what will be the key. Like always, we would have the Diwali promotions in store. We have also signed up a few strong celebrities for some of our brands, like Deepika for Melange, and those would be the campaigns out. And we're looking forward to a very good festive season where customer comes out. And the good thing about in this whole gloom, the good thing is that the customers who are coming out are tending to buy more. The conversions are much higher in the store, and that's a good sign that we are able to get good business out of the customers who venture out.
Harish, as a product category, you started with the lockdown buying your bare essential groceries. Then came the bare essentials when you couldn't mop and clean your house. So, then came all the other white goods which you bought into. Then, of course, it moved to your car batteries and services with regards to the unlocking in the economy and people getting back to work. And then, of course, there was also that demand which came about with work from home. You bought new laptops, you bought new computers, you bought new TVs and, all the accessories that come along with that. With the festive season now at the onset, do you see a shift in product categories as well that consumers would be drawn to, which from the COVID pandemic to now has been more need-based, if I can call it that?
Yes, for sure. Because if you really look at expenditures, they have moved from small need-based expenditures to medium-sized need-based expenditures as of today. Moving to the high-value need-based expenditures, that we need to wait and watch because that's not happening as yet. Because people are, as I said, still being tentative. The mood at the back of mind is to say, yes, the festivities are here, but the reality is that when you peek into your bank balance and you tend to say what my bank balance is, you tend to say that is saving for a rainy day. And people are really looking at the fact that, incomes have gone down by about 30% in average in people's hands. And people are saying that if I've lost 30% of income, must I not spend on those high value goods? So I am defining it very simply in this manner, that people are going to not invest in high value goods, not this festive season, not till April 21 possibly, but they are going to, however, splurge. And the splurge is going to be on items which are not high value. So the garments business, for instance, branded garments, anything that's related, not very high value, but it gives you the feel-good factor. It makes you think that my wardrobe has been packed with a little more. We are back to normal. We're getting back there. So I see that coming back, which means to say that, items of low value, but which give you a certain joy of being with them for a period of time. So that's going to come back, because outdoor entertainment is not there as yet. People are still having it in their minds that the woods are really dark and deep. I really don't know how dark, how deep, only time will tell us that. And that mindset to say that the woods are really dark and deep, but I don't know how long, how dark, how deep, is actually going to make people park their monies into their fixed deposit accounts and sit with it and not spend it on that high value car or a mid value car. People are extending the benefits of their products longer. If I wanted to replace my car tomorrow, I'm saying I can run it for another 2 years. My refrigerator can wait for another 3 years. So this postponement of purchase and reduction of consumption is going to be a mindset for a period of time. But some parts of small joy returning to the economy, the garments business for one.
Yeah, and Rishi, add to that what Harish is saying, because this time around during the festive season, there's not going to be any socializing. There won't be any Diwali parties. There is not going to be any of those gift exchange. I mean, how many packages will you dunzo to your, friends and family? So I guess the spends will be very low ticket items and perhaps restricted to just what your own home requires. Maybe a good deal here and there on a white consumer good, or for that matter, new clothing.
Yeah. So I think that's where the consumer will surprise us and is already surprising us. As I mentioned, when there was 2 weeks of Raksha Bandhan and Eid, we saw some of the stores, especially up north, doing more than what they did in last year. Which is something quite strange that, in the midst of growing COVID cases, people were stepping out into offline stores to shop more than last year, right? So I think people may not celebrate in large gatherings, but that doesn't take away that whole need, to get over this whole gloom that they are stuck into, spend on clothing. And as Harish really rightly mentioned, that people would look forward to bringing that cheer in their life, as well as reaching out to their well-wishers with gifts, etc. So I think festive season will see a resurgence of demand, especially in the garment and apparel segment. There would be some categories which would be lower, but I think the festive demand, the fashion demand will really pick up, and that's what we are seeing. And also, it's not about COVID going away. It's just that as markets open up, people get used to managing COVID. So, for example, as we see that a market opens up to malls, it takes a little time for customers to come back. But markets which have been open for, say, a month or more have seen much higher footfalls, and therefore people slowly discover that it's safe to be in malls, it's safe to be in those environments. There is a lot of effort that the malls have taken. There's a lot of effort which each individual retailer has taken to ensure that the stores are not crowded. The trial rooms are sanitized. Each of the garments are really taken care of nicely so that there is no fear in that environment. And that's what people get used to. And that's why we see that Delhi, for example, where active cases have been flat for quite some time, people are stepping out much more than a market like Bombay, which opened recently. But Bombay sees a week-on-week growth, and now with Tamil Nadu opening up, you would see that market also will come back to reasonable levels. So all of it set for a Diwali. Fortunately, it's a little late this year. So hopeful that the festive season will bring customers back. And if they are not coming back, there are many things that we are doing to reach out to them and ensure that still they get their favorite brands from the favorite retailer.
Okay, good luck with that. We'll chat again closer to Diwali perhaps. Harish, Rishi, both of you, thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking with us today.